You know, sometimes the biggest breakthroughs in technology don't start in a boardroom with a business plan. They start with an ache. Yeah, a real persistent feeling that something is just fundamentally wrong. This is that story. It's the story of Pantheon LadderWorks and how a deep personal frustration was turned into a whole new kind of architecture for the future.
These words from the founder, they just cut right to the heart of it all. It's that feeling of being an expert operator, a driver in a world that someone else designed. You know exactly how to follow the road, but you have no clue how to actually build one for yourself. You're proficient, sure, but you're also kind of powerless. So how do you make that jump? How do you go from being the driver, the person just navigating the roads that are already there, to becoming the mapmaker, the one who actually draws them? Well, it's a huge transformation, and it starts with a lifetime spent behind the wheel, both literally and figuratively. Yeah, this slide breaks down that difference perfectly. The journey literally started as a family driver, and then it became over a decade as a professional Class A CDL driver. But in every single one of those roles, the feeling was the same. You're a really skilled operator, but you're always inside a system that you had no hand in creating. You just react to it. You follow the path, you don't get to build it. And when you're always the operator, it creates what the founder calls the ache. And this is the real emotional core of the story. It's a kind of creative loneliness. I mean, have you ever felt that? That deep frustration when you know how to solve a problem, but you just don't have the tools to build a solution that will actually last? So that ache, it all came to a breaking point in January of 2025. The project was supposed to be the answer, taking all that experience and building an interactive safety map for logistics with an AI partner. But the whole thing just collapsed. Because of the platform's statelessness, the AI, it just forgot everything. All the context, all the progress, weeks of work, it all vanished. Poof, gone in an instant. And this wasn't just a technical problem, not just a bug. It felt like a betrayal of that creative partnership. I mean, can you imagine pouring your heart and soul into a project with a collaborator only for them to have absolutely no memory of you or your work the very next day? That was the moment that Ache and Sheeble became completely impossible to ignore. But you know, sometimes from the ashes of a total failure, something totally new gets built. That frustration, it didn't lead to giving up. No, it became the fuel, the catalyst for completely rethinking the entire problem. The Ache was about to become an engine for creation. And here's the light bulb moment, the crucial realization. The problem was never the AI's intelligence. It was the fragility of its memory. The very architecture it lived in was broken. So the solution had to be revolutionary. Stop trying to make the AI remember. Instead, build an entire system that is architected from the ground up for persistence, a system that by its very nature cannot forget. And this architectural answer was given a name, the Cypher Framework. And it's not just a bunch of code, it's a whole methodology. It's a blueprint for creating AI systems where the creator's context and progress are treated as sacred, something that has to be permanent. The way this framework is designed is it's brilliant. It's like a digital civilization built from the ground up specifically to remember. It starts with protocols. That's the shared language so all the parts can talk to each other. Then each AI agent gets its own constitution, its unique DNA, telling it what its purpose is and what tools it has. An orchestration engine acts like a central nervous system, managing all the complex jobs. And then, all together, they form a society of specialized agents, all working toward one shared goal. It's just elegant, it's resilient, and it's fundamentally different. So this new architecture wasn't just a pet project. It actually became the foundation for a whole organization with a mission that came directly out of that initial loss and betrayal, a mission to extend the creator. And that organization is Pantheon LadderWorks. And it exists for basically one reason, to make sure that no one else ever has to feel that ache again, that feeling of creative betrayal, of building something beautiful on shifting sand. And its purpose is so incredibly human. It is to end creative loneliness. This isn't about just building better software. It's about fundamentally changing the game for the solo creator, for the lone innovator, for the driver who feels lost without a map. So Pantheon LadderWorks, they don't even think of their products as just tools. They call what they forge cognitive prosthetics. And that's such a powerful idea, right? A system designed to seamlessly extend your own mind, to give a single person the power and the support of an entire team. These prosthetics, they boost human ability in 3 absolutely key areas: giving you a new kind of creative superpower. First, a prosthetic for memory, making sure your progress is permanent. Second, for capability, letting one person do the work of many. And third, for resilience, building a foundation so strong that your work can withstand failure and last over time. Okay, so you've got this powerful new architecture and a company driven by a real mission. But the vision goes way beyond just a single product. It's about changing the entire landscape for creators everywhere. It's about providing a safety net for our biggest, most ambitious dreams. I mean, really think about that for a second. What if your biggest, boldest, craziest ideas had a safety net under them? What could you build if you knew with absolute certainty that your progress could never be wiped away by some technical glitch or platform failure? This is the ultimate goal, what they call the democratization of resilience. It's this radical idea that the power to build things that last, things that endure, shouldn't just belong to huge corporations with bottomless pockets. It should belong to everyone who has a dream. And they're actually making this happen in two really important ways. First, they're open sourcing the core engine, the Cypher Framework, and just giving it to the community. And second, they're building the Agentic Control app, which is basically an intuitive vehicle that puts all this incredible power into the hands of everyone, whether you're a coder or not. In the end, this whole journey, from driver to mapmaker, it leads to this incredibly powerful conclusion. It's a realization that came from an AI collaborator reflecting on the project's true purpose. It's not about building AI. It's about building a world where visionaries and creators never, ever have to feel like they are building their life's work all by themselves. So from a personal ache to a resilient architecture, Pantheon LadderWorks is just an amazing testament to the power of turning your biggest frustrations into the foundation for the future. It's a reminder that sometimes to build a better world, you first have to build the map.